morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you to these kids, too, from the Microchip Learning Center from Kokomo for being here. It came for a tour, and they get to see Olympic gymnasts. That's pretty cool. My name is Ryan Vaughn. I'm the president of the Indiana Sports Corp. I want to thank you for being here this morning. We are here to celebrate the fact that the P&G Gymnastics Championships is back in Indianapolis after 10 years. We couldn't be happier to work with USA Gymnastics on this event and this world-class stage. It's very important for the Indianapolis Sports Corporation to continue to do these major events with our local partners. And as many of you know, USA Gymnastics is located right here in Indianapolis. And so it's fantastic that we get to be a part of hosting this great event, their championship event here in Indianapolis. Before I go too far down, I want to introduce the folks I have with us on the stage. Behind me is Steve Penny, president of USA Gymnastics. We have Rachel from the design team from Vera Bradley. And of course, our world all-around champion, Simone Biles. I want to take just a brief opportunity to thank all of our local sponsors as well. In addition to P&G as a national sponsor, several Indiana companies have stepped up to help make this a very special event in Indianapolis. So special thanks to St. Vincent's Performance Health, Vera Bradley, Deloitte, Kroger, Hendricks Regional Health, One America, the Bolson Group, Washington National, Crow Horwath, Anthem, and Faegre Baker & Daniels. Sponsor Vera Bradley has engaged this championship in a very unique way. You may have noticed that the Countdown to Rio signage atop of Harry and Izzy's and by Palomino and right outside of Bankers Life Fieldhouse here has a very interesting design. That pattern, along with a second pattern that Vera Bradley will introduce, will be a big part of our championship look moving forward. Here to talk a little bit about that is Rachel.
Thanks, everyone. Vera Bradley is so honored to be in our home state of Indiana, working with this national championship event and these outstanding athletes. After a design trip to Brazil, our design team came back so inspired by the music, the color, the pattern, and all of the fun that they had. So much so that we actually created a print and launched it this year and named it Rio. So the integration of this pattern, Rio, into this championship event is such a fit for everyone involved, because this event launches the countdown to Rio in 2016. You'll see this pattern, like I said, in the signage, in the bibs, in the medals, and the ribbons. And this is going to be with coaches' gifts and athletes' fit gifts. So we really hope that this print inspires all of you just as much as it did us. So finally, I'd like to present Simone with the gift in the beer bottle.
All right, Simone, you're the first one. There it is.
You know your name. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rachel. That is really, really cool. I mean, I want one too. I got 3 daughters that can't wait to find a way to get their hands on some of this Vera Bradley merchandise. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for being here today with us. It's a very special day as we look just a few weeks down the road to the 2015 P&G Gymnastics Championships. As Ryan mentioned, my name is Steve Penny. I'm the CEO of USA Gymnastics. But I look around this room and I see so many familiar faces from so many years of being connected to Indianapolis. And I had to look back there to my friend Bradner Carlson, and it just brought me back to the days when I was at USA Cycling in the early 90s and bringing USA Cycling events to Indy and being out at the Velodrome and the stories and the fun that we had with some of those events. And, you know, the theme of this year's event for us, other than the Rio message, is back home again. And USA Gymnastics has been headquartered here for many years, and the USA Gymnastics family has come and gone through Indianapolis quite a few times. The World Championships have been held here. The national championships have been held here a few times. Other events have been held here. We had our headquarters at Pan Am Plaza. We're now just a couple blocks away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. So it is home to USA Gymnastics. And so this notion of being back home again is really important to us because it really allows us to celebrate the event in new, different ways. And that's what's special about hosting events in Indianapolis, is that this city knows how to raise the profile of events. It knows how to create big events. And frankly speaking, as Ryan and I mentioned in his column on Friday, this is the sports capital of America. So I want to thank, in particular, the Indiana Sports Corporation, who continues to be a leader in hosting events around this country and a role model organization for what they do. I want to thank the folks from Pacer Sports and Entertainment, especially Jim Morris and Rick Fuson and your entire team for everything you guys do for us year in and year out. The local partners that Ryan mentioned, St. Vincent Sports Performance is also a partner of USA Gymnastics, and our two co-chairs who aren't with us today but have done a fantastic job with the local organizing committee, Mary Belke of Deloitte and Kevin Spear of Hendricks Regional Hospitals, have been just fantastic leaders to help keep this thing going and keep the creative ideas happening so that we have a fantastic event. I stand here today and I tell you with 100% certainty that this will be the biggest and best P&G Gymnastics Championships that we have ever hosted. And what makes that happen is a team effort. We have a saying at USA Gymnastics that success is a team effort. And so many of you that are in the room here today represent that team. And why do we do what we do? Well, we do it because we love what we do, but we also like the connection to sport. And these little guys sitting up here, you guys like the connection to sport too, don't you? Huh? And it's really cool to be able to build these events and to create these showcases. And I just want to recognize one partner in particular who absolutely delivers day in, day out, time and time again at the highest possible level. When you look around this city as we get ready to host the P&G Gymnastics Championships, and you see the decor and you see the look and the feel, there's one guy here who really is one of the best partners you could ever ask for when it comes to staging sports events and conducting your business, especially in this town. Frank Hancock with Sport Graphics, would you please? Thank you. Thank you. Uncle Frank, he is just an incredible man with an incredible heart, and he delivers time and time again. We just could not do what we do without you, so thank you for everything you do. But as we've talked about, we're back home again. You're going to see us here in a few weeks. But what's really, really special about this is literally we'll be hosting this event with a year to go to the Rio Olympics. And I want to invite Ryan and Simone on stage to unveil what will be a trademark icon for USA Gymnastics over the next year. But the countdown to Rio begins in Indy. Ryan and Simone? Very cool. Very cool. So this is going to be an opportunity for all of our folks to be able to take pictures and to kind of connect with USA Gymnastics on our road to Rio. Obviously, Simone, I'm going to have you come up here and say a few words because it's somewhat likely that you might be thinking about those Olympic Games in a couple of years. Yeah. Talk a little bit about what it means to compete at the P&G Gymnastics Championships and kind of some of your recent experiences with that.
Yes, to be competing here soon, it just starts the road off to Rio, so that's one of the first steps. And I mean, we still have a lot of meets to go, but this is the beginning step, and it's just really exciting to see our dreams come true.
And so you had a meet this weekend, obviously the Secret Classic, and you did pretty well. And there were a few familiar faces that were there too. Gabby Douglas, Allie Raisman, Kyla Ross. I mean, the Fierce Five, 3 of them are back in the mix. What's it like to have them on the same field of play with you?
It's amazing because I've seen them day in, day out, every month, working their tails off. And I don't know, it's just, I see all their hard work pay off, and I meant every time we're out there on a competition, we're there for each other, not against each other. So I think that's really exciting.
I think one of the things that I'd like to emphasize, and Simone just pointed it out very, very well, these athletes, we always like to talk about this as a competition. They're competing against one another. But truly what this is, in my opinion, is it's a showcase of their talent. And frankly, they're out there as teammates, supporting one another, competing together. They're not necessarily competing against each other as much as they're competing with each other. I think that's something that makes this really special, because when you look at a gymnastics setup, it's essentially your playground. I mean, you guys have been using a gymnastics setup since you were little kids. So when you're out there, you're just basically having fun, isn't that right?
Yes, it's exactly right. I mean, every time we go into a competition, we're thinking, oh, hey, how are we going to do? But then again, we're always there for each other, picking it up each other whenever they need it.
Well, what's really cool about Simone is she likes to connect with the crowd. So you little guys out there, if you're coming to the event, you want to make sure that you're cheering for her, because she'll just wave right back to you. She just kind of has her own way of going about her business. She makes this sport look really, really easy. It's amazing to watch what Simone Biles can do. There have been great athletes that have been a part of all of our history, and I've been very fortunate to be familiar with a lot of great Olympic athletes in a number of sports. It surprises me how they just keep raising the bar, raising the bar, raising the bar, raising the bar. So I was thinking a little bit about a comparison that I might make, and she's going to think I'm getting a little out of control here, but if you consider, you know, the great athletes like Michael Jordan and how he levitated into the ground, and I was especially thinking about this whole Muhammad Ali comparison that I would make, you know, float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Well, I think you kind of soar like an eagle and bite like a tiger is the way I look at it. I've never seen anybody, this girl, I mean, I know Boomer's really good. Boomer, that guy can do a lot of cool stuff, but I'd like to see her on a tramp with a basketball and see how many twists and flips she could do before she dunked it. But just talk a little bit about, you know, becoming the best athlete in the world in the last 2 years. I mean, you and I have talked a little bit about all of a sudden, boom, here comes Simone. Next thing you know, you're the world champion in 13, you're the world champion in 14, you now have 9 world medals. Where's your head right now, and kind of how do you approach the next couple of years?
The next couple of years we take step by step, even though the Olympics is one of the things that everyone wants us to talk about. I mean, we still have national championships, and then we have worlds, and then next year it just starts all over, so we just take it day by day.
Yeah, and that's the key. You know, she's not getting too far ahead of it. She's looking forward to it. She's got a beautiful smile on her face, and it's going to be an incredible ride. So thank you so much for being with us here today in Indianapolis. Ryan, I'm going to turn it back to you, but the countdown to Rio begins, folks, August 13th, right here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you to Bankers Life Fieldhouse for hosting, for USA Gymnastics, and for Simone for being here. We will be available for questions or interviews immediately following, and the press conference is over. So thank you very much.